So what industries and people should make cold calls? I guess a better question would be, who should not make them? All right. Who would not be in a position? This would be the better question. Who would start a company or a business or be an entrepreneur, or you're out there, you're a 17-year-old person and you're trying to build your brand up. Who's not going to have to make this call one day, someday, to someone? Your startup. You're going to have to make a cold call to somebody. I mean, at some point, you got to call somebody. You want to expand your company. You want to find that director of marketing, that VP of sales, the angel investor. At some point, you're going to have to make a call to somebody. You want Google. Google's going to buy your company. At some point, you're going to have to pick up the phone and make a call to the people at Google, right? What startup would not have to make a cold call at some point? Well, I'm not doing that. I'm the startup guy. I'm the owner. I'm the entrepreneur. I'm the John Lamb with the big idea. Well, good, John. You got to pick up the phone, Mr. Lamb, and call somebody, because you don't want to make calls. You're going to have to call a team of people to bring in that are going to make the call. Sooner or later, you're making a cold call. Sales organizations. I know sales organizations that are convinced that they shouldn't even make cold calls. It's the most whacked out thing that I've ever heard in my life. Like, a sales organization says, we never, ever do we call anybody that we don't know. Really? Really? How are you going to grow your company if you don't bring in people that don't know about your company, your product, your idea, your promotion, how good your deal is or how good your product is? You wouldn't call somebody. Your church needs money, okay? That is a sales proposition. Your church, your community church, needs money to add an orphanage addition to the church. Somebody's got to call somebody and sell somebody on giving some money for this addition to the orphanage for the church, right? That's a sale. That's a cold call. Direct marketing. What about you guys in direct marketing? Multi-level marketing, direct sales. You're going to call your mom up? Hey, mom, I'm going to a meeting tonight. Want to come with me? Right? Oh, I can't do that. I can't impose myself on my mom. Job seekers, inventors, technology companies. How about agents trying to acquire the next big sport or entertainment or celebrity person? You think CAA doesn't have to make a cold call to somebody that's turned hot on fire? They're out of nowhere. They're a celebrity now, and they don't want to get some of that. Sure, somebody's got to call somebody. PR companies, buying a company. You want to buy a company? You found this company that's doing well, and you want to go acquire that company? How about real estate agents or real estate brokers? How about real estate investors? How about life insurance salespeople, investment funds, fundraisers, bankers, lawyers, accountants? How about politicians, doctors, chiropractors, dentists, the service industry, landscapers, roofers, plumbers, car dealers, contractors? Who is not going to make a call? How about this? You're looking for a job. You want a job. You want to go to Miami and you want to work at Grant Cardone's place because Grant's expanding. Grant's blowing up. Grant Cardone is everywhere. You want to work for Grant? What are you going to do, man? You going to send me a message on Facebook? Okay? I'm not going to even see the message. Right? How am I going to see a message when I got 700,000 people sending me messages on Facebook? Yours is going to get lost. Why don't you pick up the phone? Nobody else wants to do that. Why don't you see if you can get a meeting with me? Oh, because you're going to hit the gatekeeper. And the gatekeeper is not going to let you talk to me. And then you're going to get frustrated and then you're going to quit because you never learned how to use a phone, which means you're not going to end up with a job that you'd like to have where you could be paid a lot of money. You understand? I'm being a bit antagonistic to you right now. I'm showing you the nuttiness, the craziness of your thinking. Who is going to make a call at some point in their life? Everyone. Better question is, who would not make a cold call? Who would not, at some point in their life, not have to make a call to someone they don't know? Anyone looking for a lower cost of acquisition for an opportunity, my company, I will call somebody that we don't know to get to do a printing job for us, or to build a new product for us, or build a new website. I might have to call a company cold to actually try to give them money. If you're going to grow a company, you're going to make cold calls, right? You're going to have somebody in your company. Like right now, I'm trying to take my real estate portfolio from 4,000 units to 10,000 units. I got to go buy 6,000 more units. That means I need to take the list of the top 100 apartment owners in the country, pick up the phone, call direct to the CEO. Hey, I'm with Grant Cardone's company. Grant's trying to make some acquisitions right now. Would like to get a meeting with you. That is a cold call. I'm trying to buy something, and I will have to make cold calls. I'm not even trying to sell something. I'm trying to buy something, and I will have to make a cold call, right? Why? Because I want to make a lower cost of acquisition to create an opportunity for my company. Number two, I would make a cold call because I want to get lucky with a lead. I want to get lucky with a lead. I want to actually get lucky. I have a chance to get lucky with somebody that would be in the market. One of my first jobs was as a car salesman. I was 25 years old. I was selling automobiles. I didn't have any business. I didn't know anybody. Nobody had ever bought a car from me. So what I did was I started calling people, literally calling people that I went to school with. Hey, Bobby, Grant Cardone. That is a cold call. That is not a warm call. That is not a referral call. That is a cold call. Bobby, Grant Cardone, man, just want to let you know I'm selling cars right now. I just started selling cars. Couldn't get a job. I was standing in the unemployment line, couldn't get a job with a degree. 5 years I spent in college, couldn't get a job, Bobby. Hey, I'm selling cars now, man. You know anybody that needs a car, Bobby? I didn't even know how to make the call. Bobby, you know anybody that needs a car? He's like, man, my mom's looking for a Toyota right now. Are you serious, man? Are you serial? Bobby, I'm selling Toyotas, right? Boom, one of my first sales was to Bobby's mom. I got lucky with a lead. And then you know what happened? The manager where I worked told me cold calls don't work. I'm like, dude, it just worked. You got lucky. Well, the second reason you would actually make a cold call is to get lucky. Number three, to find referrals, okay? I want to replace the people I've sold. So I might ask John, who do you know? And John says, well, I know Jared. Well, then I'm going to have to make that call to Jared and say, Jared, John told me that you might be, right? So I'm going to have to call a referral. Find and call referrals. Number four, employees that want to break their people in. I'm an employer, okay? I employ people, right? So I want to break my people in. And the way I would break my people in is with cold calls. Here's our products. Here's who we are. Here's what we do. I want you to call people and tell them. Because what's a better way to work out your presentation, to break people in about your company, to train your people who your company is, than to say, hey, I work for this company, and present that to the public. That call, by the way, could be over the phone or it could be in person. I can just tell you this. I have multiple businesses. I have 4 companies right now. Number one was the sales and seminar business. It was an intangible offer where we offered a free seminar. We picked up the phone, Grant, we is me. I was a one-man company. I was we. I was me. I was the accountant. I was the shipper. I was the collector. I was everything, right? I would call people, hey, my name's Grant Cardone. I'm coming to San Antonio. I want to offer a free sales presentation to your salespeople, your management, and your team. I'm not interested, click. It's an intangible offer. You couldn't touch it, couldn't feel it. There's no knife to send to somebody, a product. There's nothing to show somebody. It's an intangible offer. Well, I started that first business. It took me 3 months just to figure that call out. It was a sales seminar offer, okay? Basically, I went in, did a free seminar, and then in hopes of signing people up for a later seminar. And I built a monster business off of that. Number two, that first cold call that I made into that market, right, to soften it up, to prep it, to get it ready, to introduce myself, to get not interested, hey, maybe, little feel, or hey, come by and see me while you're in town, or absolutely, we'd love to do that. Those are basically the 4 responses. The second cold call that was created out of that was me walking in person and saying, hey, I'm the guy you hung up on. I'm the guy you said maybe slightly, lightly interested. I'm the guy that you said, hey, maybe come by and see me while you're in town. I might look at it. Oh, I'm the guy that you said, come see for sure, I'm interested. You understand? So when I cold called, I was still walking in cold. I called him on Thursday. Monday, I flew into San Antonio. Walk in. He didn't know me. Remember one of those statistics earlier. 92% of people forgot that they even talked to me, right? That I even prospected them, that we even had a conversation. I walk in and say, hey, I called you the other day. I was in Miami, called you in San Antonio, told you I was coming to town. He's like, man, I don't even remember talking to you. He talked to 100 people that day. You get it? So the cold call was then the in-person. I'm just trying to show you the different type of calls. Who's going to do this? Who's not going to have to do it at some point? Number 3, let's say you're a software company. My second company was a software business. I had a software business, and we sold that software to companies that wanted more processes that they could measure in their business. And we sold that to businesses. So we'd pick up the phone. When we were in monster expansion, we'd pick up the phone and call people rather than just go by and visit them and say, hey, can I show you a new product? My third company, and we still own, is a real estate company. In fact, it's my biggest business today. required a tremendous amount of cold calling. First, we had to call brokers for deals. Hey, do you have a deal? Do you know of a deal? Do you have any deals coming up? My name's Grant Cardone. That's a sales pitch, you understand? Very, very difficult to get a broker to really pay attention to me. I perfected this particular call, all right? Because I got to get the broker that's sitting in his office that's taking a lot of calls and that are basically just tire kickers, people that aren't really interested. And I have to distinguish myself in a very short period of time. Hey, dude, I'm a real dude. I'm a real guy. I'm a real buyer. Pay attention to me. Help me out. Do you have a deal? Do you have deals coming? I perfected that call and was able to fill my pipeline up with good deals. The other call that I had to make was to sellers to get deals because brokers get a little lazy, frankly, okay? They're not on their game all the time. They don't make cold calls. Of course, they shouldn't have to. Why? Because they're selling real estate and they're so important. So I would bypass the broker and call sellers that they hadn't worked because I was trying to build a real estate company. If you want people to know you, you have to pick up this phone. We're still doing it today. I want to call and be talent. I want to call and get talent. We created a company called GrantCardoneTV.com. I want talent on my network. So I call Gary Vaynerchuk and say, Gary, I want you on my program. I call Fran Tarkenton. This is Grant Cardone. I never heard of you. This is a cold call to an NFL ball player. I'm trying to get talent on my show. We did that 4 weeks ago. He's coming on my show now. Okay, I'm going to have to use it to recruit. Cold calling is used to poach talent from other companies. Your company should have somebody in it that's poaching talent from my company, that's grabbing great people from me, and that's going to be a cold call because they're not calling you. My accounting department has to call for receivables. Hey, you hadn't paid us. You're late. That's a cold call. Nobody wants that call. They weren't expecting a call. They don't want the call. I'm calling somebody that's new there that doesn't even know my company. In fact, I've been billing these people longer than this person's been working there. Do you understand? The point of this is what? Who's not going to have to make a cold call? So the next time you hear or see some wacko saying cold calling is dead, consider this. I have 4 companies and we're making hundreds of phone calls every day that would be considered cold. To find employees, to get paid, to get introduced, to get PR, right? To find product, to buy product, to deal with vendors, to collect money. You're going to make a cold call. Get used to it. Grow up, okay? Grow a set. Get your head on right. Say, hey, that phone is for me to reach out and touch someone. The fact that your mommy and daddy told you not to talk to strangers does not mean you don't need to talk to strangers. You have to learn how to make this cold call. So when you go back over this, I want you to look at how many different places in your career right now should you be making cold calls and you're not.